I hope this finds you well and living your best life in Jesus Christ. As I'm sure most of you are aware, or if you've known me for any length of time, you'll be aware that I have never been exactly what you would call athletic. Even though as a young child I enjoyed running, jumping, and generally being a kid, as I grew older, I discovered that there were some things I seemed unable to do. What brought this all home to me was watching Landry the other day. As part of his preschool, he was asked to walk a line drawn on the ground, heel to toe, and to stand and jump on one foot. I'm happy to report that he was able to do this after a bit of practice with his nana and his mom. See, I remember being asked to do the same thing in elementary school and failing miserably, much to the joy of my fellow classmates and much to my chagrin. I would dare say it's probably one of my earliest memories of being laughed at and ridiculed, all because I couldn't seem to find my balance. As I look at the world we live in, I'm often struck by how out of balance it seems, and even Christians often seem to be struggling to find their balance, wobbling back and forth as if standing on one leg, as they try to balance work and church, family, now COVID, and all the things that life throws at us on a daily basis. It's no wonder that we sometimes seem out of kilter, struggling to find that sweet spot in our lives where everything is in perfect balance. Sometimes it seems like that balance is an impossible task. But the scriptures are clear that a balanced life can only be found in our lives by putting first things first. Asian religions and mystics often call this finding your center, and I like that analogy, it's not so much that we need to put Christ first in our lives, but rather at the center of our being. Pastor Rick Warren uses this analogy in his writings, pointing out that a wheel that is out of balance, not rigidly fixed at its center, will eventually tear itself apart. We need to think of our lives not as a prioritized list as much as a wheel. The center of the wheel is the hub, and all the spokes of your life, the things that represent your relationships, your family, your career, your goals, they all come from that hub. We all build our lives around some sort of hub. The question is, what will be your hub? Will it be your family? Will it be your career? Will it be money? Or will it be Jesus Christ? I've discovered that the hub of our lives is what we think about the most. Whatever it is that you find yourself thinking about constantly, that's your hub. That's our center. And like it or not, everything in our lives revolves around that center. That's what's driving you. And it's what provides stability or instability in our lives. The center of your life is critical to developing a balanced life. A solid center leads to a solid life. A weak, flimsy center leads to a weak life. When I hear people tell me their lives are coming unglued, it usually means one thing. They have a faulty center. Something other than God has taken priority in their lives. The center, the hub of our lives, is what controls everything else in our lives, and it's the source of our power. See, in a wheel, the power always comes from the hub and nowhere else. It can't go the other way. That's just the way it works. Unfortunately, the world we live in has centered itself on things that are just not stable. Money, power, drugs, alcohol, sex, politics, basically the love of self, pretty much anything that's not of God. Is it any wonder that we live in a world that seems totally out of balance and seems ready to fly apart at any moment? It's because it doesn't have a center, or it doesn't have a solid one. If you've ever had a tire out of balance on your car, you know that there's always a warning sign. It starts to thump, 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 and it gets louder, constantly warning you that it's in danger of losing its control and flying apart. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who hears that sound when I'm listening to the news or looking at the mess that Satan has made of our world. See, our world is badly out of balance, and if we're not careful, we will be too. We need to make Jesus the center of our lives. If we do, he will provide the stability, the control, and the power we need for our lives. In Matthew 6:33, we're reminded where the center of our lives should be. He said, "But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given unto you." Don't worry about making Jesus first in your life. Put him at the center of your life. Let him direct your life, influence it, empower it, and give it stability. Focus on him and the things of his kingdom. Let's fasten the hub of our lives to the only true source of power and stability, Christ. Do that in all the other areas of your life, from your family to your career to your goals. You'll find balance in Jesus. Let's just not be out of balance. Let's center our lives on Jesus Christ, and we will wobble no more. I hope you make today a terrific day. I want you to know that I'm here if you need me, and I love you all.